So preparing for a 10K race, just like with anything else or anything, any kind of other competitive, feat that you're going to do, you're going to want to train for it. Okay, so as far as training for it, I would say probably about, now if you're somewhat in shape and things like that, you can probably start maybe about 2 months, 2 months out of the race. If you're not in shape, I would suggest maybe like 4 to 6 months, start somewhere there. So then that way you can have a successful race, right? Now, basically a successful race is all going to dictate, whether you ran it before, whether you've done this kind of running before, because for some people, a successful race is just running the whole thing. For some people, it's just finishing it. For some people, they have a performance where they want to finish it in a certain amount of time. So your success is all going to be based on what you want to kind of get out of it, okay, as far as preparing for the 10K race. So through the course of your training program itself, you're going to want to strategically, probably I would say in a 7-day week, you're probably going to want to work out 4 days, take 3 days rest, okay, in some kind of manner of a day's rest, 2 days on, 1 day's rest, 2 days on and 1 day's rest, kind of like that kind of motion. And so progressively every week you want to add a little bit more so that by the time you get to that 8th week or so, you would have already ran the 10K once, probably in the 6th or 7th week, just to make sure that you can do it. So then when you get to the 8th week, when it's time to run it, you're ready to go. Now, as far as, race day tips and things like that, you want to make sure you're properly hydrated, because what happens a lot of the times is you're doing all this running, you're burning all this calorie, you're losing all this water and things like that. So if you're not dehydrated, you can get muscle cramps, your muscles can fail, and all kinds of things like that, okay? You want to make sure that you know your course, because you can then take into account for when you have different kind of terrain, such as going uphill, on grass, on the ground, going downhill and stuff like that, so that you're a little bit more comfortable with it, okay? And you also want to make sure that, that you prepare for it mentally, because a lot of the times it's a mental thing, it's a mental battle as well as a physical battle, okay? So when you get ready, when you get to that point of getting ready to run the 10K race, you'll be mentally ready, physically ready, which is going to make you have a successful race.